Hello, everybody. Thank you very much for joining this reading session. Today, we're going to do a pick a card reading for the first quarter of 2025. Of course, usually, I will do monthly readings, but today I want to focus on the general energy for the first 3 months of 2025 for you guys. And at the very beginning of this video, you probably can already see 3 different options I provided. The first option is honey, all right, bee honeys. If you like honey, probably this is the pile for you. And the number 2 pile, we have got delicious cheese. And the final pile, we have got some fresh squeezed fruit juice. And so all of them are food or delicious stuff. And the reason why I picked these 3 different options for you to choose from is because I really want you guys to have the prosperity and abundance that you want. Honey, cheese, and fruit juice, all of them are very nutritious. They're good for our health. They're good, for our palate. And also, in order to make them, also it takes time, right? It takes effort. And so I really feel that, honey making, cheese making, and, even growing fruit, right? All of them represents the hard work and the reward that we will get in our life. And so I thought, why don't we just use these 3 different symbols, right? And as a good an omen for our future. Now, if you have chosen the pile number 1, then I'm going to do your reading first. As usual, today I'm going to use Oracle of the Celestial Deities to do your reading. And we're going to do a grand tableau, okay, for you, meaning that we're going to lay out a lot of cards from this one single deck. And just in case you're using this deck, maybe you can also learn how to just use this one deck, which only contains 20-something cards, but we can read very fully about your general energy. We're also going to look at your career, your relationship, and of course, if there's anything else that is coming up, I will also mention. All right. Now, with all that being said, let's get started with our pile number 1, the honey. All right, our beautiful group number 1, the honey. Okay, if you have chosen this pile, we're going to read your first quarter, January, February, and March energy for you. All right, so I'm just focusing on your energy, my beautiful group number 1. Our honey people, thank you very much, universe. Please give us some general guidance regarding different aspects of their life for the first quarter of 2025. Okay, now first card, Juno. Okay. Eros, Atlanta, the moon. Okay. Venus. Wow. Vesta. Okay. Vulcan. Orpheus. Okay. Medusa. Saturn. Okay. Mercury. Jason. Finally, Uranus. Okay. Very good. Now let me just have a look at this energy. Okay. Now, for group number 1, if you have chosen the honey, this is one thing that you need to know. First thing that I'm seeing actually in here is that the first quarter for you is actually a period of time of stability and also a lot of preparations for the speeding up in the second and the third quarter. Now, you start your reading with the energy of Juno. Personally, I really like this energy because Juno is about expansion, growth, and opportunities. And however, Juno sometimes have to be careful with focusing too much on the small things or the details, and thus we lose the bigger picture and the big vision. One of the things about our group number 1 is I do think that you need to shift your perspective sometimes. You are actually moving towards an abundant period of time, but sometimes you could be distracted here and there by the small things that could make you feel upset, or it's almost like it kind of like ruins your day, if you know what I mean, because of the one small thing that happens, right? And that just made you feel why. And so for this group, first of all, this Juno energy really tells you that, okay, let's shift our perspectives from time to time and understand that what is your bigger goal there and what you would love to actually achieve in the long run and be fixated onto that goal. And of course, if there are times when you're feeling a little bit drained or tired, exhausted because certain things, always remember to give yourself time to recharge. And the reason is because Juno or Hera, as the goddess of marriage, she would actually spend a day away from her marriage and away from her, the things that actually upset her or things that entangles her. She will go back to her mother's house. And her mother's house, there is a magical spring. And she will bathe herself in the spring to refresh herself and to find her virginity again. And so in the spiritual reading, when we're looking at Hera or Juno energy, kind of like replenishing, right, herself with the so-called virginity is about going back to simplicity. It is about going back to the basics, right? What you love about yourself, what is important to you, and what are your boundaries. And so sometimes this card shows up in the reading as the first card, which is the most important card for you, is to reflect on your personal needs, right? And the important things actually in your life, rather than being overwhelmed or distracted by things that are actually not really in line with your long-term vision. Now, I like the first 3 months of work energy for you, my beautiful group number one. You have got the Vesta and Mercury, okay, sitting here in your career, okay? So what does that mean? Vesta encourages you to continue to invest in what you're doing now, okay? Be focused and be dedicated towards your daily operation. Mercury following that could be also very good because Mercury is a god of communication, networking, knowledge, learning, buying, and selling. So for example, for people who are choosing this pile, if your work is related to, for example, sales or business development, or any type of work that requires you to listen and to talk, this could be very good because Mercury in the 10th house is almost like bringing in that sense of communication into your work and your career path. Meanwhile, Mercury could also be very much talking about travel because, as you know, if you study Roman mythology, you will know Mercury does rule travel, trips, right, movement, transition. And so there could be some possibilities for our beautiful group number one to have business trips, or you might need to sort of like travel while combining your work or having a part of your trip to do your work, right? Or this could also be about literally you are traveling to meet people, meet potential clients and partnerships within the career sense. This actually looks quite positive from my perspective, yeah. And I do think that you are expanding yourself, so that's good. You do have got Jason, this card next to it, and the Saturn also next to it. Okay, so we're seeing these three cards sitting together. And this to me is talking about definitely some kind of career things related to your foreign travel instead of just purely for leisure. Okay. Very good. Now, with your money, I have one suggestion to you, my beautiful group number one. You are attracting money to you in the first 3 months, but you also have to be careful with spending money too much. You have got this Eros card sitting in your second house. Sometimes this is a little bit about you being a little bit frivolous or somehow just spending right without thinking. Maybe this could be about you doing a lot of online shopping. You look at things online, you be like, okay, I like this, I like this. Okay, bye, bye, bye. Right? Or this could just be about, having the opportunity to see a lot of things that you're attracted to and you want to spend money on, and that you could spend more than you want to. Let's put it this way. But the good thing about Aries is you're also attracting money. Aries is not usually about big money, but it's about small money from different sources. Okay, so that could be good for you. Just bring in a little bit, I would say, structure, okay, into your financial planning, right, and how you want to manage your money. Home energy actually very safe and sound. I'm not seeing you guys having a lot of movement actually in the first 3 months of the year. So in case you're wondering whether 2025 you should move house, probably not within the first 3 months. Now, of course, when we're doing the second quarter or the third quarter, fourth quarter reading, this energy could change, but at least I would say by the end of March, the energy is still very stable. And I don't think you should move anyway. Now, if you feel that there are certain things kind of like making where you live a little bit uncomfortable or challenging, or this could even be about maybe the ideal place you want to live in is not where you are, that's totally fine. But have a little bit patience, right? When it comes to dealing with this kind of living energy. Actually, what I'm seeing here is actually your home is actually quite convenient. Okay, wherever you live now, you do have the convenience by living there. There could be small problems here and there, but that's not going to be the deciding factor for you, right? So stay put for now. Home energy is actually quite stable from my perspective. Okay. Now, when it comes to your love and relationships, okay. Now, because you got Juno in the first house, but in your spread, I'm not really seeing Jupiter, okay, which is her divine counterpart. This could be about maybe you during the first months of the year, haven't seen or haven't been able to solidify, okay, the so-called commitment or partnership yet. You do have got Venus, though, okay, which is about attraction. So this could be about you maybe meeting people and feeling attracted or maybe even idealistic about a potential relationship. Maybe there's something that triggers your interest, and that's why you got Venus there. And Venus and Juno sitting together is very much about our idealism. So I can see a lot of our group number one people, maybe you have a lot of beautiful dreams and aspirations, right? About a love goal, right? About a love a dream, right? What you want to accomplish, right? In your personal relationships. Now, however, in the seventh house, you got Vulcan and Orpheus. Now, one thing you need to know about Vulcan energy in the seventh house is Vulcan usually saying that, well, you are on the right track to catch what you want, but perhaps the timing is not ready yet. Remember, Vulcan was a little bit unacknowledged by two important women in his life. And one of them is Juno or Hera, his mother, and the other one is his wife, a Venus or Aphrodite. And now we're seeing all of these energies sitting in your love life now. So what I'm trying to say is perhaps you might be attracted to something or you might be feeling very drawn to someone, okay, whether you are married or not. But Vulcan tells you that perhaps this sense of attraction or this sense that you want to be close to someone is not a very straightforward path. And then you go to Orpheus, which is about sensitivity, okay, and memories. So for those who are single, you could be missing, okay, a connection that didn't work out. Or this could be about you really reminiscing on the past, thinking about, how you want to move forward while not being stuck in your past. Specifically, when you have Medusa after that Orpheus energy, I really want you guys to bring in a sense of positivity into your love life and try not to give yourself, all this kind of negative thinking about it's not going to happen, it can't happen, right? I don't know how it will happen. That kind of, self-negative talk, right? And especially with the Juno in the first house, at the end of the day, Juno is a goddess of marriage. And what she wanted was a very powerful man. She wanted the king of the universe. And the king of the universe, Jupiter or Zeus in Greek version, actually pursued her, actually came to her. So if you are actually, kissed a few frogs, so to speak, let it be. But don't let that bother you, and don't let that make you feel that you are you don't have the value that your partner needs, or you are less than what you think you are. Okay, now with this energy, what I would say is it's very, very important, again, not to focus on the small and unnecessary details, but focus on the bigger goal and how you want to move forward in a joyful way. Now, we're going to pull a little bit extra advice card, okay, for you. Now, I'm going to pull one card from Oracle of the Mythic Heroes, okay? See what's the general and overall advice for our court number one, okay? Let's have a look. Oh, by the way, I'm also seeing an extra thing. Now, this is, because this is a general reading, so, pick what you can resonate with. Some of you guys watching this video, like what I said, you will have some work-related trips that you will have to make. And this is actually something that is not all about fun, right? Having fun, having a great time. You do have responsibilities. And so you might find some of the trips that you will need to do in the first quarter of the year quite I wouldn't say heavy, right? But you just need to put a little bit effort into it. Maybe you will need to do a presentation when you're traveling. Maybe you need to achieve a important career goal, right? When you're traveling. So that could be really on the horizon. Now, the other thing that I want to say is also for some of you guys watching this video, this could be about you maybe needing to go back to school or do a degree or something like that, right? You got Saturn sitting in the ninth house, right? Now, if that's the case, and your question is whether you should apply or you should start a degree, Saturn tells you that you should if you are really committed to it. If you are feeling half-hearted, you want to do it, but you're not 100% in, right? You just want to see, yeah, maybe I want to do it, right? And hopefully, this will just be an easier path, then don't do it. Because Saturn usually requires us to be very, very responsible and be very dedicated when it comes to, learning, study, right? Career, these kind of things, okay? I want to let you know, specifically your Saturn and Mercury are sitting really together. Now, this is really talking about some kind of serious commitment in terms of thinking, learning, study, right? Your speech, right? Communication, things like that. Now, thank you, universe. Just one more card for our beautiful group number one, who have chosen the energy of honey. Okay. Thank you, universe. Just one card. Okay. Thank you, universe. We've got humor, Numa. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Now, it's funny. Now we have got Jupiter on top. Okay. The Juno's husband. Now you got both. Now, I'll tell you what this means. Yeah, specifically, I think this has a lot to do with the relationships. Like what I said, I really don't want you guys to be overly analyzing why love hasn't worked or why it has been hard or challenging for some of you guys. Okay. Now, this humor card is usually telling you that stop taking everything to heart so seriously. Now, specifically because we got Jupiter and Juno, which is a couple. Now, I think this is specifically is talking about love and romance to you. Just because you have kissed a frog, it does not mean anything. It does not mean that you are less than who you are. It does not mean that you are unattractive. It does not mean that you are not valuable. Actually, it's quite the opposite. You are too invaluable to the point that probably any frogs wouldn't be able to match your energy. And that's why things haven't happened yet. So with this card, Jupiter talking to Numa on the card, it tells you that sometimes when it comes to dealing with mistakes or sometimes kind of detour that we have to take, smile, right? And see things with your own sense of humor instead of taking it too seriously or to the point that you're cultivating that sense of negative self-doubt, losing confidence and things like that. Okay, so it's very, very important. Now, the number on this card is called is number 9. So number 9 could also be very important to you. So for our group number 1, maybe January the 9th, right? 19th, 29th, February the 9th, 19th. This year, I don't think we have the 29th of February, and March 9th and the 19th could be very important to you. Okay, so number 9 is a significant number. Also, the 9th card that we actually put out in the 9th house, which is Saturn, right? So again, Saturn is also talking about, when it comes to dealing with your life issues, what can you be overly serious about and what can you be not so serious about? So always finding the inner balance, right, in there. Okay. Thank you very much, my beautiful group number 1. I hope this reading provided some useful guidance for you guys. And I wish all of you guys a very successful and abundant first quarter of 2025. See you guys very soon in the next reading session. Oh, by the way, if you like the reading, always remember to subscribe to my channel, like it, and share it with the people you care about. See you next time. Hello, my beautiful group number 2. Thank you very much for joining this reading session. Today, we're going to do your 2025 first quarter, January, February, and March reading to look at different areas of your life. And by the way, if you have chosen the second pile, which is the pile of cheese, the picture filled with beautiful, all different types, varieties of cheese, this is the one for you, okay? Now, let's do the spread. First of all, we have got Saturn, okay? Second card, Ceres. Juno. Uranus. Vesta. Pan. Medusa. Pegasus. By the way, I love this energy when Pegasus comes after Medusa. As you know, Pegasus as a sacred horse was born from Medusa's dead body. So it seems like some kind of type of breakthrough, yeah, coming up for you guys. I'll tell you a little bit more about this in details later. Hercules. Mercury. Pluto. Jupiter. And finally, Mars. Okay. Love this energy. Okay. Now, first of all, my beautiful group number two, there is a sense of transitioning and also cleansing coming out for you guys over the first quarter of 2025. You start your energy with Saturn, okay, sitting in the first house. Now, in a good way, Saturn is talking about what you need to refocus on, what you need to restructure in your life at this moment. Now, because this is a first energy, showing up in your gender spread. Now, this is not specifically about your job or your relationship, your family, but it's a little bit like prompting you to review what do you want to restructure in your life. And it's not just about changing that thing at a superficial level, but because deep down, that's who you are. What deep down, maybe you have been trying to move towards that direction for a long time in order for your life to align with your ideal or align with truly what you desire. And so Saturn is always talking about change, okay? Cleansing the old things out of your life and welcoming new things into your life. I almost see this energy a little bit like, every year you harvest, right, from the field. And after the harvestation, you need to clean the field as well so that you have the space and you can spread seeds for the new year to grow the new crops. And so Saturn is that kind of cycle, actually. It's talking about what worked for you before might not work for you now or in the future. So it's important for us to do that kind of restructuring in our life about what works and what doesn't. And if it doesn't, how are we going to leave that out of our lives? Now, the other thing about Saturn energy is also telling you that perhaps a lot of you guys who are watching this video is feeling particularly pressured, right? Sometimes Saturn does bring that very serious energy into our lives. We could be seeing the bottle half empty instead of half full. So just in case for all of you guys who are watching this video and you do feel a lot of tremendous pressure on your shoulder, and you feel it's almost like you have to be super responsible for the result, for your career, for the money. If you're already concerned about the future, Saturn is also telling you not to lose the balance. It's important that we know we must work hard and we must what we must do to create that beautiful foundation, right, for the future. But if all you're worried about is that structure, then you might also be losing the fun or the joy, right, and having a great time in life. And so always finding the right balance there. Now, what I'm also seeing here is that a lot of you guys having this choosing the second pile, either you have been single for quite a long time, or you might be feeling a little bit stuck, right, in the existing relationship and you don't know how to get out, or you're kind of like going through something, in the personal relationship, um, uh, you know, uh, uh, that area in your life, and it's kind of like you're trying to either leave that relationship or you're trying to heal, right, from a broken relationship. And so either way, I do feel that there could be some kind of breaking through for you psychologically speaking. Now, Saturn, in your love life, we got Saturn, Vesta, and also Medusa. Now, Vesta in this energy is always talking about the healing that we need to do, right? The part of healing, the part of us that is feeling a little bit hurt. Maybe in the past, you were tremendously wounded, right? In relationships, or in dating, or in your existing marriage. So Vesta, this energy together with Saturn is really talking about the sense of cleansing and the healing and the boundary setting that you might need to do over the next 3 months. You probably will also, prefer to spend a lot of time just doing your own thing. Now, with the seventh house Medusa together with Pegasus, this is telling you that perhaps there's also a small part of you feeling blocked in love. If you're single, and this could be saying that you don't know how to find love and where that opportunity is. And if you've been in a relationship for a long time, then Medusa is also saying that then you don't know how to end that unhealthy relationship for your life. Now, the good thing I like about this energy is you got Pegasus on top of that. This is that kind of divine help coming in to bring you out of this stagnant energy. So, for example, if you're a single, then the Pegasus is talking about either you will find a beautiful friendship over the next 3 months, right, in the first quarter of 2025, to give you the sense of support and love that you always desire, so that you feel that, okay, I'm not lonely. I don't feel miserable because I have all this love and support around me. Sometimes Pegasus energy is also talking about a beautiful relationship could start because of a great friendship that you are building. Okay. And so I just want to say that for a lot of people who are choosing this group number 2, you do have the potential to find a very committed relationships, because I'm also seeing Juno and Jupiter, okay, on top and at the bottom of your seventh house, which is a divine couple, that soulmate connection. And so I do feel that for a lot of you guys, if you have been feeling really stuck either without a relationship or in the wrong relationship, in the first quarter, specifically around March time, you will be able to fly out of this energy and you will feel that, okay, finally now I see what I need to do. And finally, I see some kind of directions there leading me towards maybe love and maybe relationships. Now, however, you probably would not be really go into a significant relationship or in a settled commitment within the first 3 months, because I'm not really seeing Venus or Eros showing up in here. And so I do feel that maybe this takes a little bit time. But the first 3 months, when it comes to relationship for you, my beautiful group number 2, it's about understanding, healing, and so that you are able to bring yourself up, right, from that stagnant water, and sort of like set yourself free, right, from your mental burdens and from the difficult memories, right? And you'll be able to see life in a more light-hearted and more joyful way. And also, like what I said, there's a significant, very strong sense of new friendship coming into your life. You've got Jupiter, okay, sitting in the 11th house with Pegasus on top. You also have got Pluto and Mars sitting around Jupiter. So this could be about friends, especially with men. Okay, so if you're a woman, this could be about new male friendships coming to you. Or this could be about, let's say, if you're a man watching this video, if you're looking for women, this new friendship could also be about some kind of new type of brotherhood, right, coming into your life. So I do like this energy because it seems like you are not alone. Okay, you're going to expand your social circle, even though some of you guys have not been very active in communicating or engaging with your community. There's definitely some sense of new friendship coming up for you. Okay, now I love this energy. Now, with work, okay, one thing that I'm seeing here for group number 2 is there could be some potential job change during the first quarter of 2025 for you guys. And when it comes to change, I really want you guys to ask yourself, this change is coming to me. It's also in line with what I want. Because what I'm seeing here, it's a little bit like you know that you need a career change or you need a job change. But perhaps for the past several months, or maybe in 2024 in general, maybe you are not ready, right? And you got Pan sitting in the 6th house, which could be talking about you have a little bit, convoluted thoughts in your mind about what's going to happen with my job, right? Is it stable? What's going to happen? And after that, we got Pluto, which is talking about transformation. So this is definitely telling me there's some kind of significant change, right, happening actually in your career. Plus, you got Saturn in the first house, which is about cleansing anyway. Now, this transformation could be very good for you because we're literally seeing Jupiter and Mercury sandwiching this Pluto energy in your spread. Now, Mercury is communication, adaptability, and Jupiter is opportunities and expansion. So I do feel that this transformation is going to help you. Old job leaves, new job comes in. Okay. Now, also when it comes to the new job, one thing I want to say is I don't think this is something that is very similar, all right, with similar responsibilities, let's say 80, 90% same with what you have been doing. I think this transformation is going to be quite different. This could be about maybe a completely different role, or maybe even a different, sort of like, slightly different industry for you. So it will broaden your horizons, your knowledge, your skills, right, and things like that. Okay, very nice. Also, group number two, I'm seeing travel. Okay, your ninth house has got Mercury, which is about travel. You do have got Juno in the third house, which is also about travel. Your fourth house has got Uranus, and so there is a lot of travel energies, around your spread. So I do feel that this could be potential trips, possibly more than one trip that you're going to be doing in the during the first 3 months of 2025. And especially, I would recommend if you are traveling either with friends or you're traveling to a place where you have friends there, it will be even more amazing because your friendship energy here is actually quite abundant, okay, from my perspective. Now, another thing that I also want to mention is that your money situation is actually quite stable, okay? You might be feeling that, okay, you have to earn, you have to think about your finance, but because you got Ceres sitting in the second house, this is usually saying that the income during the first 3 months is still stable, even though I'm seeing potential career change there. But the career with the job that you're going to change will also be able to give you the financial stability, right? So don't worry too much about that, about losing money or things like that. One more thing that I'm seeing here is that for some of you guys, you might be thinking about moving house, okay? Changing where you live. Uranus in the fourth house could be talking about change of home, apartment, right? We're leaving, if you're still living with your parents, Uranus could be encouraging you to move out, right? Finding your own place and things like that. There's a lot of change of home energy around your fourth house. You got Juno in the third, you got Hercules in the eighth, and Pegasus in the seventh, right? All surrounding this fourth house energy. So I do like it. So in case you're wondering whether you should actually move house or your apartment, the lease is coming up, right? Go have a look, all right? So I don't think that's a bad thing for you. All right, very good. Now, let me pull one more card from Oracle of the Mythic Heroes, and let's see what the other general advice is there for you. Okay. I just want to also just mention one more thing. I think with group number two, you guys need to bring a little bit more sense of optimism into your life. Saturn in the first house is not a bad thing, right? It shows your sense of responsibility, right? You're serious about life, right? You know how to, get through the difficulties and challenges. But I just want you guys to have a little bit more light-hearted energy in you. I want you to have a little bit more blind faith in your manifestation, okay, in your ability to manifest the things you want, whether that's love, friendships, right, stability, and things like that, okay? Try not to focus too much on what you don't have or you can't have. Focus more on what you have and what you can potentially create, all right? Very good. It's definitely some kind of transformation happening there for you guys, also in your career, okay? Thank you very much. Also, even with relationship, I think for group number two, it's very possible that you might meet someone during the first 3 months, possibly, March or even April, to be honest. And but like what I said, it's gonna take some time. Okay, it's not gonna be you meet someone, bang, then you're together. It's a little bit like a friendship feeling at the very beginning. Okay. Oh, something flipped. We got Dido codependence. Okay. Now, this card usually tells you to find your confidence in your own individuality, who you are. Now, do you remember earlier I actually mentioned living where, if you're living with your parents or if you're living with a relative, maybe there's a time for you to find your independence. This Dido card has a lot to deal with us depending on other people or depending on other on the bigger situation there, right? To wait for things to push us forward. So what I would say about group number two is possibly you will need to have a little bit of courage to make changes, right? And to find your own power to build your own life as an individual. All right. Saturn actually is in detriment in Aries. Because Saturn usually needs a little bit like balance and structure. He likes to be in the seventh house, which is the house of Libra. And so with Saturn in the first, I really want you guys to love yourself, believe in yourself, and tell yourself that you are able to bring everything into fruition. Specifically, I would say focusing more on your mental health, on your self-confidence, and your self-assurance. All right. All right, let me just have a further look. Oh, by the way, you got Mars sitting in the 12th house. Okay, now just in case if you guys, I would highly recommend that you guys do some sports. Okay, now this could be about you. If you like sports, that's great. Go out there, maybe kick a ball, right? Throw a ball, whatever. Or if you like going to the gym, right? Make sure that it's a routine. Mars in the 12th house sometimes has difficulties to release the frustration or release the inner anger or the extra energy that we have. So what I really want you guys to do is if you're feeling something's a little bit stuck in there, go to the gym, work it out. All right. And that will really help you to release this kind of heavy thing that is on your chest. All right. Thank you so much, my beautiful group number two. This is great. I wish you guys all the best and sending you a lot of blessings. Remember to subscribe to my channel, like it, and share it with the people you care about. And I look forward to seeing all of you guys very soon in the next reading session. Have a wonderful week. See you next time. Hello, my beautiful group number three. Thank you so much for joining this reading session. You have chosen the third pile, which is the fruit juice. We've got two bottles here, one red, one green, and they both look very nutritious. Maybe you're feeling very healthy today and you are choosing this pile. But let's have a look at the first 3 months, the first quarter of 2025 for you. All right. Thank you, universe. Please give us group number three a little bit of guidance and wisdom for their near future. First 3 months, 2025. Thank you. First card, Pegasus. Beautiful. Right. Uranus. First of all, the two cards are already showing me a lot of air energy. Okay, so this could be about your personal freedom, right? Your individuality, you being who you are, and you're also attracting unexpected good news. All right, very good. Third house, Neptune. Wow, so much fluid energy. Sky and the ocean. Fourth house, Jupiter. Oh, wow. Fifth house, Saturn. Next one, Vulcan. Juno, the moon. Eros, Medusa, Ceres, Pan, and finally we have Orpheus. All right, group number three. First of all, you have picked Pegasus, right, as your the card that is opening your spread. Pegasus is usually talking about the divine power you have to overcome difficulties. Usually in fortune reading, we usually see challenges as mountains, right? As human being, we have to climb mountains, right, to find new horizons and new places. And so usually climbing is a difficult thing, but Pegasus has wings, so they can fly over the mountains and get to where they want to go. So Pegasus is usually talking about the help, the assistance, right? The wings that you're going to receive. This energy could be literally about maybe the people around you, the good friends you have, right? They could offer you the advice and the opportunities you need. Sometimes Pegasus is also talking about you somehow just being really favored by the people around you or by the universe at this period of time. A lot of people might see you as a talent, right? They might think you are amazing, you're doing a lot of amazing things. And you are someone that they either admire or they just, really speak highly of. As you can imagine, if you suddenly see a flying horse in the sky, um, you would be happy, you will be surprised, and maybe you will want to catch it. And so this is usually saying that somehow you are being wanted by the people around you, and you also have the right help and the right assistance, right? But one thing you do need to don't know about Pegasus in the first house is that you do need to have the right friendship. Pegasus energy usually saying that you need to have the right community around you, right? People who you are, you feel you belong to, you can trust, and you can feel that you are really a part of them. So avoid isolation. I think that could be very important. And if you can, try to mingle, try to make connections that you need. Now, with your work, you have got the Vulcan and Ceres sitting in the sixth and the 10th house. Now, these two energies are usually talking about a little bit like the sense of humility, right? That you bring into your work. And at the same time, you are trying to be productive on your daily basis, and you will also feel very stable with your job. Now, with Vulcan Ceres, if you're already working in a corporate environment, this could be about a sense of stability that you will be enjoying, even though Vulcan sometimes can be a little bit mundane. Okay, now Vulcan usually when it comes to work, it's about the sense of grinding, if you know what I mean. It's not about the glamour, the beautiful things, but it's more about the routines, right? The effort you have to make on a daily basis. Now, I think that's actually a very good thing, but it does require a little bit patience for group number three. Now, for Ceres energy, if you're working in a corporate environment, this card could be talking about you being in a very stable and a very supportive team, right? The environment that you're in. So this could be very good. If you don't work, if you say you're a stay-at-home mother or a stay-at-home father, this could also be saying that you're playing a very important role in nurturing or helping or supporting someone. Could be your kids, or if this could even be about maybe an old person if you're caring for a grandparent or a parent or a mother-in-law, whatever that is, right? Service in a way is always about the service. It's always talking about the support, right, that you provide. For some of you guys, this could even be about maybe you work in an environment where you need to do literally customer service. It's a little bit like that. But in general, it's actually very, very stable. So I like it. And by the way, just in case that you want to do your own business and you wonder if there's something else that you can do, Ceres, generally speaking, is talking about things related to agriculture, food, drinks, tea, right? Nutrition, agricultural product, milk, okay, things relate, or honey, okay, cheese, things like that. It's very funny that today all the options that we provided for all the three groups are actually food. And then you got the series in the 10th house, which is about career, okay, that could be related to nutrition or food. So that could be also an idea for you if you're thinking about running your own business at some point. Now, when it comes to your home energy is very beautiful, okay? You have got Jupiter sitting in your fourth house. Now, this could be about, we can interpret that in two ways. Jupiter could be saying that you will feel very abundant and you feel good when you're at home. You might have a very spacious and beautiful home to stay at for the first quarter of 2025. Jupiter could also be saying that in case you are thinking about moving, you will also be able to see opportunities for you to move if that's something you want. If you are happy with which you are, Jupiter is a very good energy for staying anyway, because it's about it's about a sense of just abundance, right? At home, one of the typical things I see about this energy is somehow you will have a lot of space around you, right? You can maybe you have a big living room, right? Or maybe your room has an amazing view, something like that. All right, so I think that's very good. Um, home energy looks actually very, very safe and also very abundant. Now, when it comes to love and relationships, right? Now, I'm seeing different scenarios in here. Now, first of all, let me address the people who are single, okay? Now, because Pegasus is in the first house, and this could be about a very good time for you to still remain single and understand that what comes most important to you is your sense of freedom. Now, Saturn in the fifth house is either saying that maybe you have been away from dating for very long, or this card could be saying that if you have been dating, then what you need to do is to cleanse out anything that is unnecessary for you. Saturn is about cleansing, okay? It's about reality. It's about really looking at who is working out for you and who is not. And when you realize that certain things or certain people are not giving you the right energy, you need to have the guts to leave it rather than keep thinking about it. So Saturn could be about cleansing, right? Leaving something out. This could also be about maybe if you're not dating, that's just saying that maybe you're just feeling a sense of boredom at this moment because Saturn usually it's a little bit like plain and dull, okay, if you know what I mean. Yeah. So this could be about what you're experiencing now. Now, in the seventh house, you have Juno and the moon. Now, when you have Juno in the seventh house, it still shows that you do have a desire to have a very stable relationship, right? Again, this is for single people. You want to have a commitment with someone, but then you also got the moon there. Now, the moon and Juno sitting together can be a little bit uncomfortable because the Juno is talking about the desire to be with someone, to form a partnership, but the moon is about your independence. It's about who you want to be and how you want to be, how you want to live your life based on what you want. Now, these two cards sitting together could be about a little bit like a push and pull energy within yourself. Sometimes these two cards sitting together could also be saying if you're dealing with a date, right? Someone that you're dating or you're seeing, you could also feel that it's very, very uncomfortable for you. So maybe you two have very different vision, or you two have different somehow maybe this could be about maybe they annoy you or they might say something that is not really just kind of like in line with what you believe in. So I do feel that for the first quarter, for group number three, try not to focus on finding the right partner yet. Dating, I think that could be good, but because you have got Pegasus in the first house, I think it's always good to start with friendship. Okay, something platonic, right? And also, what I want to say is that for this group, if you are already married, you're in a committed relationship, Saturn and Juno sitting together could be good because Saturn is something very stable, right? Very traditional. Juno is also very traditional. So when we have these two cards sitting together, this is saying that your marriage is actually very stable. Okay, so there's not going to be anything that is too erratic in terms of separation or divorce, right? I'm not seeing that. However, because you also got the moon sitting there, this could be saying that sometimes you and your partner might have a little bit like different opinions on different things, right? Like what I said, Juno is how you want to work as a team, but the moon is how you want to be yourself. This could be reflected on you or on your partner side anyway. Okay, so I think for people who are married or in a relationship, if you feel that somehow the energy is getting a little bit dull and too mundane for you, perhaps during the first 3 months, you can focus on what you want to create for yourself and whether you want to involve your partner in, and so that both of you can actually create something joyful and happy. All right. Very good. Another thing that I want to say about this group is in terms of money, okay, your finance group number three, you're gonna be fine with your money, but this also is showing that you guys might be doing a lot of online shopping, okay? You got Uranus and Eros sitting in this position as a combination. This tells me somehow maybe you're spending money online, right? Online payments, something like that. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, yeah, as long as you know why you're spending those money and you know that you're spending them in a wise way. All right, very good. Now, also, yeah, one more advice for you guys is well, you're the moment whenever you're watching this video, because this is for the first quarter, right? So, for example, let's say maybe you're watching this in early January. Just know that there might be some trips you want to book tickets for, or you want to plan. You need to give yourself a little bit time. So try not to rush into it too too early, right? I would say at least give yourself maybe 2 weeks time to consider, do a little bit more research, and then you book your tickets. Okay. You have Medusa stuck in the ninth house. Is usually showing some kind of delay related to travel, right? And so give yourself a little bit time. Now, in case some of you are thinking about maybe going back to school or applying for a degree, things like that, this also tells you that hold it, okay, for a while. Don't just make the payment or just rush into it first. Make sure that this is something that you actually want. I think at least you need to wait after uh if you're watching this video in mid-January, I think it's still okay, right? But actually Mars retrograde is until the end of February. So if it's something that you can wait after the end of February, let's say after February the 24th, I think that's fine. You can just go with that specifically for those of you guys who are Scorpios or who are Aries. All right. Very good. Now, what we're going to do next is to find one card from Oracle of the Mythic Heroes. We're going to pull one last card, okay, as a general advice for our group number 3, okay? Final advice for our first quarter. What do we need to know about the first quarter? Oops, for our group number 3. All right, thank you, universe. Just one card, okay. Universe, just one card, okay. And we have got cleanse. Yeah, exactly. Right. See, earlier, when I say Saturn, this card in your fifth house about cleansing, there's definitely something related to cleansing you need to do. One thing I also want you to know is that because you got Pan sitting in the 11th house, yeah, I really want you to make your decision and sort of like decide your path, what kind of choices you want to make, purely based on what you want. What is your own inner voice, instead of what other people are whispering at your ear and say what is good for you and what is not good for you. Sometimes the Sirens card is always talking about the unnecessary distractions that we see, we hear, right? We associate ourselves with because we're not confident in who we are. Now, this card, Sirens, is all telling you that what is the true beautiful voice within you. Sometimes sirens can be very distractive, right? In Greek mythology, sirens are monsters who would use beautiful and sexy songs and music to lure, right? To allure sailors, seduce them, and then cause shipwreck. And so this is really telling you that the first 3 months, right, of 2025, listen to your inner voice. Understand that you are choosing a path because you want it, not it's not being forced or it's not being misled, right, by other people. Either it's on purpose or not. Okay. This will actually really give you the sense of focus during this period of time. Thank you so much, my beautiful group number 3. And I hope this reading gave you some general guidance and the information that you need. Remember, if you like my video, please remember to subscribe to my channel, like it, and share it with the people you want. In case you want something that is specifically tailored to you, you're also welcome to find my information through my Instagram or my official website and book a personal reading session with me. Thank you so much, and I wish you a wonderful first quarter of 2025. See you next time.